are live in the building, man. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing, man? Hey, you guys already know what it is. Throughout this season and this off season, because remember, the real Dallas Cowboy fans, we know that there is never an off season. You know what I'm saying? This is an extension of the season. So in the off season, what do? We like to try to get those guys who are on the team making impacts and sit them down and have a great conversation with them about the Cowboy Nation and where we're going. So today, man, without further, you know what, man, I'm gonna throw my guy a bone real quick. I'm gonna let my boy Landlord introduce him. You know what I'm saying? Because my guy been in the game for a year, and this was huge for him getting this interview together. So I'm go throw you your flowers. So go ahead and introduce him, Landlord.
Yes, sir, man. We got the South Alabama's own Jalen Tolbert in the building, man. Dallas Cowboys wide receivers. Oh, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. Good. How are you?
Great, man. Everybody's excited to talk to you and see how what you got going on in the OTAs in the off season, how you coming along with your training, man. So anything you want to start off with, just let us know what's going on.
Bet.
All right, let's get it, man. Well, hey, you guys already know what it is. Whenever West Coast Cowboy goes live, whenever HTM Sports go live, whenever my boy Nefarious Landlord from Alabama goes live, there's three things you guys must do. First thing you guys must do is you must hit that share button. So I need everybody right now to hit that share button. If you don't know what it is, all you got to think about is an Eagles fan's girlfriend's nose. It look like a big old beak. Big old beak. You know what I'm saying? You can't miss it. It's a big old beak. You know what I'm saying? And I need you to punch that button and share the content. Next thing I need you guys to do, there's these things called stars. There's these things called super chats. What are stars and super chats? Stars and super chats are only a monetary way that us, the content creators, use that to make more content. So if you want to be a real ass Cowboy fan, if you really want to piss some Eagle fans off, if you really want to piss some Giants fans off, say, man, support a Cowboy content creator. You want to know why? Because we are in the business of pissing them off. That's what we do. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So, listen, we already know time is of the essence. So, man, let's jump right into it, man. Let's jump right into it. We ain't gonna really do too many, like we gonna do questions, but I really just want to have like a open forum, man, like an open forum for this discussion today, man, because we got a guy that is looking to make an impact on this team in 2023, man. And we want to know, I just want to know right out the gate, because I'm a DB. You know what I'm saying? I played DB all my life, right? And whenever I coach my DBs, I'm always telling them, like, man, you gotta, whenever a wide receiver room is kind of like a toolbox, right? Like you got a hammer, you got a screwdriver, you got vice grips, you got a pliers. And when you're looking at these wide receivers, you gotta understand, what is his tool? What is his tool? So I want to know, Mr. T, I want to know. You looking at this wide receiver room? We got some guys, CeeDee Lamb. We got Cooks in there now. We got a bunch of tools in this tool shed, man. I want to know, what is a tool or asset that you feel that you bring that kind of sets you a little part from this toolbox that's already kind of loaded. Let us know, man.
I think one thing that I do a really good job of, even when I was in college, is high pointing the ball, like my catch radius. So I think that separates me from the other guys. Of course, they can go, attack the ball in the air and make plays. CD has shown that multiple times, but as far as consistently doing it, I think that's a strength of mine. And obviously working with those guys, I'm putting other things in my toolbox from, Brandon's Cook speed, CD's elusiveness. He's break tackles. He does a lot of yards after the catch, the way he moves. So, you just learn a lot. I think MG is another one that has a pretty good catch radius, and, he's coming back to himself again. So, I think that's one of my strengths for sure, is just catching away from my body, attacking the ball, going up and getting it. So I think that's one of mine.
Man, you're a much bigger dude than I expected. Like, they got you listed at 6'3". So when you say catch radius, like I believe that. So outside of that, man, like, you were very dominant where you played at college at, man. Like, you were putting up, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
astronomical.
Astronomical. Like, you were going crazy on the country boys, man. So, so tell me, from the draft process of somebody that was playing at a small school, like, what would their transition like, going through the drafting process, not playing at a really big school, and, just trying to get settled into the NFL?
Something a lot of people don't know is, I started playing football 11th grade of high school, so I was still learning.
Late, yeah.
Like when I was at the Cowboys, I'm still learning, coverages and how to identify certain things. And when I was in college, my OC and wide receiver coach, Michael Smith and Major Applewhite, they really kind of took me under their wing. That obviously I had the talent and the potential, so they took me under their wing and kind of like fine pointed and taught me some important things that I needed to know at the level that I was playing at. Obviously, so I wasn't playing, the biggest schools. So I was put in spots where I would play 1, 2, or 3, and just I would be there just depending on the game. Like say for instance, Ark State plays man coverage. I can go out to the outside and get some go balls. Then we go play Troy. They like to play cover 2, so I go to the slot and take the middle of the field and just rip it apart. So it's just little stuff like that. They use me in different ways. So transitioning to the NFL, obviously I had to become much smarter as far as, I'm late playing the game, I'm still learning, route techniques, coverages, how to identify, disguises, all type of stuff. And obviously just working with other guys and learning from them helped me. But as far as going through the process, that's one of the things that I had to learn. Obviously, a new offense as well is, just me being able to play all the spots and stuff. So I came in, I play every spot. I'm not just locked in as an outside or slot receiver. And so that's a strength of mine, is just being able to move around and do that as well. So I think, that was the transition for me from college playing at a smaller school to going. I feel like people, think about you play at a smaller school, the competition is, obviously in certain aspects the competition is not the same, but I still play people that were at bigger schools that came down because they weren't playing up there, or we played a big school. I played Tennessee, I played Nebraska, played teams like Coastal Carolina was a powerhouse at once upon a time. So I've played big schools, whatever. Obviously it's not Alabama's, but
yeah.
But hey, you got off on Tennessee though, boy.
Nah, wait a minute. Look, I was finna piggyback off of when he said. Yeah, I was about to say when he said Ark State, because that was the big game that you broke the school record, right? You had like 252 yards, 3 touchdowns. Talk about what you seen and what kind of zone you was in that game right there, man. That was a big game for you.
Hey, not to interrupt. Hey, you kind of said it. Hey, you kind of said it though. He kind of told us a couple minutes ago. He said when you play Arkansas and Ark State and they're playing man covered,
yeah. So you was cooking the man. You were cooking man on man. Huh?
No. Yeah. What that is that's film preparation.
Yeah,
that's film preparation.
Yeah, Ark State too, like you said. I mean, my junior year, my junior year, my sophomore year. At the end of my sophomore year, we didn't throw the ball much at all my first 2 years. So my end of my sophomore year, we went into the last game. Ark State was the last game, and coach was like, they play man, so just throw it. And ended up breaking the record my sophomore year of touchdowns in the game. I scored 5 touchdowns versus Ark State my sophomore year, 2019. And they called one of them back, so I really scored 4. So I had like 5 catches for.
Oh, you went crazy.
I was going into my year. So then going into the junior year, I really obviously had some attention from that one game. So going into my junior year, I burst out versus Southern Miss. I had a pretty good game. We played at Southern Miss. And after that, I started getting a lot of, double teams and locks and stuff like that where people were playing me. Ark State was just one of the teams that still stayed true to their man coverage deal. So, when we got to Ark State, they played me man as we kind of expected. And, I just, I did my
crazy. Yeah. But I got one question for you on that, because like that kind of transitions to what we was talking about, far as the learning curve that you had to take on. You said you only started playing in 11th grade. That's pretty late for most players for you to like excel to the level that you got to and make that big time jump to get to the NFL. So what I know you was tapped in with South Alabama when I met you out there at the Senior Bowl. So what kind of advice do you give to the young people that's coming along, like behind you, coming out of small schools, like to prepare them for that next level? What kind of advice you like to give?
I still talk to a lot of those guys now, even the ones that's playing, the ones just came out. I like to tell them, just pick any brain you can. Obviously, me coming out, I was, at one point of time the second, third guy ever drafted from the school. So I didn't really have, I didn't have a guy that kind of came back to the school and was like talking to me like, hey, look at this, or like, this is how the league works. This is, it's, the politics of this, or you need to know this, or you need to come into the league knowing doing this. Like, it was a lot of stuff that I had to kind of just learn on my own from being just one of the guys that went ahead of people. And so obviously we had in 2017, we had Gerald Everett, but he never really, came back. And I didn't know him. I wasn't at the school yet. So it wasn't a guy that I could just call up and be like, hey, tell me more about, the league, or what should I study? What should I prepare for? What do I need to know? It was kind of just like, go with the flow. And a guy got drafted the year before I did, Kawan Baker. He went to the Saints, and he was a receiver. He played with me for my 3 years there. And I mean, my last year, I kind of outdid him in the sense of like playing. He had an injury late on, and I put up, 1,000 yards and everything. So, I mean, he got drafted, but I think I could have came out that year as well and got drafted. So he kind of just went in a year before me, and it's just one of those deals where I came back one more year and then I entered the draft. So now that I can go back and talk to those guys, I tell them, hey, don't know one spot, know the whole concept. Like, I play all the positions. So that was something too, is like, I play all the positions, but you also got to know how to move and run the routes in those certain positions. You got to know what to do. You got to know how to read the coverages at different positions. You got to know how to articulate the route concepts and trees. You got to know if this is coming this way, we probably want something coming this, this way with that, whatever it may be. And then also just, understanding what coaches like to see you do while you're on the field as well. So just being confident, playing fast. Don't go into, obviously you think too much, then you're gonna be thinking about certain stuff or the wrong stuff. So go and have fun. So I mean, when I talk to him, I'll go. If I end up going back home, I go back sometimes. I'll work out with a couple of them and just give them some tips and stuff that I've learned since I've been up here. So just always trying to help those young guys.
Yeah, give them a little game. Yeah.
I got a question that's kind of not even a question, but just kind of a thought that's been on my head. Like, if you go look at Dak's career, like, one thing that I would say about Dak's career is he has taken younger receivers kind of under his wing, and they have excelled, man. Like, I can name if I'm a young wide receiver that's trying to get paid, I definitely want Dak as my quarterback, because he's a guy that he no matter if you're getting open, he's going to get you the ball, right? And so I want to know, like, because I understand there's a transition between college and the NFL, because on film it looked like last year, not to name any OCs or anything like that, but it looked like wide receivers at time was almost asked to read defenses, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of catching routes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and for me, if you're a rookie, right, coming in the league, you already got to get acclimated to the weather and you can't wear these types of socks and all these other things. So then to ask a guy to, like, in the middle of running a route, I want you to decide if you want to go left or right and still be on sync with the quarterback. And the crazy thing about it is, as crazy as that task was, there were times where you guys did it. I want to know, what is it about America's quarterback, Dak Prescott? What is that trait that has it, that he's just so able to just, like, grab these young guys, are just able to play with him and get a high level of talent out of these yourself, young guys? I mean, talk to me about your quarterback real quick.
I mean, Dak, what he does on and off the field really speaks for itself. He's a relentless guy. He's one of the hardest workers that I've been around. So just, being around him, and he loves to work. He loves to get better, and, we'll do something on the field and go in the weight room, and, like, in the middle of working out, he's talking to me about something on the field, or, whether it was good, bad, or if we can make it better, whatever it may be. And, I think that's one of the things is he wants to get everybody better. So, like, when you come in, he's going to teach you and tell you some stuff. He's going to take you under his wing and teach you, not only what to do, but why you're doing it. And that's a big part of, being a receiver is, having your quarterback that wants to do that, wants to help you succeed, help you get better. So, I mean, he's a great guy. This offseason, obviously coming in last year, it was different, where it was more of a, like, urgency sense of, like, I'm a rookie, like, I go rookie mini camp, go OTAs, then come back and we're in training camp. It wasn't like a full offseason, where this year it's like, hey, come throw at the crib. You go to Dak house and we throw, and then hey, let's go to the Dallas Stars hockey game, and we go to the game. Like it's just almost like you're building chemistry not only with him but with other guys as well. But last year it wasn't really that chemistry and connection early on, and so the season obviously started, but I think that's another thing too. Is like he's not the type of guy that's like, nah, don't hang with me, don't do this, don't ask questions. Like
Yeah.
he's all for it. Like if you got something, he's gonna be there for you. I mean, even if it has nothing to do with football, he's gonna be there for you, and that's something that a lot of guys in the locker room, like, we have so much respect for him because obviously he does a lot of stuff off the field. Like previously, it was like me, CD, MG, and a couple other guys went to his. He had this gala for his like Faith Fight Finish Foundation, and just went to support him. Everybody pulled up, and like we was just there, and there was a lot of people in there, and obviously we just there supporting Dak. But stuff like that he does for the community and for his foundation and for cancer and all this other stuff is like awesome, man. You as a young guy, I mean, that's kind of what you want to be. Like you want to be that good role model in the community. You want to be that good, respectful guy, and obviously a good player on the field. So I mean, he has all the traits, and he's able to help us in every aspect of life. Honestly, like if we want to know something about off the field, he's gonna teach us or tell us about it. If we want to know something on the field, he's gonna help us with it. So that's a great dude.
Yeah, this is just a quick piggyback question off of the Dak. Okay, we have our little theories about how it worked, right? But we understand about the Dak yard. Is it like an invite or is it like voluntarily or like you better be there, but we ain't gotta say nothing. Like how is that vibe at the Dak yard, man? You know
Nah, I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
it's a cool vibe. I mean, it's definitely. I would definitely say. I feel like at first is invite only. Like no,
Yeah,
he bring anybody there. But I mean, once you go there, it's kind of just like, I mean, he's like, hey, let me know if you want to come. Like, I mean, you can come fish in the backyard, whatever. Like,
yeah.
whatever you want to do. Obviously, he has the field, so we go out there and work when he wants to throw or anything. But I mean, you kind of got free reign, not free reign, but you can just pull up and kick it with him or whatever if you want to. So,
That's
uh,
cool.
really,
Yeah.
definitely cool to have that.
Right. So I know that y'all have been getting a lot of work in, but I know that y'all are moving to a new system. I know that they want to implement more West Coast concepts. I know y'all want to do more run out to the catch, more in breaking routes, different things like that. So not necessarily what the difference is, but like how do you feel your comfort level running like a West Coast? I know like those are concepts a lot of people use, but for the people that don't know, can you like elaborate on that a little bit?
Uh, yeah, I mean West Coast more is down the field, so just being able to push the ball down the field to go along with the run game, and then be able to piggyback off the down the field and come in more. I think previously it was more not only option routes, but it was more intermediate stuff, slants and stuff like that. Where now we can kind of push the ball down the field because we have the players to do so. And so
Okay.
not only that, but then I mean the new system kind of allows you to play much faster, less thinking. So that'll be helpful for a lot of guys to just be able to go out there and be confident and just play instead of going out there and then having 20 different things to kind of process and
Ah man, that's
form.
what we've been saying. We've been saying this. We've been saying this. It's faster. Like if you thinking, you're not being fast. Like I played
Yeah.
wide receiver many moons ago, But if you thinking, you can't be as fast as you would like to be. It's just you just can't. You trying to diagnose what to do, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be as fast. But one thing I do want to ask, with us having such, a embarrassment of riches at cornerback, what's those matchups like? You got two of the best cornerbacks in the league on your team. So, you got a tough go at practice, right? So what those matchups like?
Uh, I mean, those two guys are great players, and just being able to compete against them every day is kind of second to none. Honestly, like if they guard you or whatever, I mean, they're gonna tell you. You can ask questions. They're not, the stuck up type guys. Is not gonna give you information on how to be better or whatever. And I like that. Obviously, we got Gilly, so I mean, he's smart. 12 years in, so
Yeah.
understands a lot of what's going on around him. So just having him to be able to kind of talk to it, not even if it's on the field, just what he's seen and what gives him a hard time, what I can do better to make myself better. little stuff like that. Obviously, Trey, you go with Trey every day. I mean, Trey, like I say, plays the ball like a receiver. He's smart, watches a lot of film. Like, he's a smart guy, understands route stems.
Yeah.
So there's little stuff like that you kind of pick up on from those corners that when you get into the game, it's just you're able to play faster. And obviously, you're going against two of the best in the game at practice. So you get in the game, it should be easier.
Then you got a young up and coming corner right there too with Deron Bland with the
Yeah.
sensational rookie year he had. So what them matchups like too before we go on off of those
He,
corners?
DB, he definitely he played more in the slot last year. So when I was in the slot, I see him a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's a smart player as well. He's young, so he's still learning. But definitely, he plays the ball well as well, and
Yes.
he's a fast learner. So he's able to, if he does mess up or whatever, he's able to come back from it fast. So that's what we like about DB. He's a smart guy. He wants to play, wants to be better. So obviously, he's going to continue to grow and be better. And not only the slot, but as outside too. If he ends up getting some more, burn out there.
Yeah.
I gotta kind of. This is the only football question I'm gonna ask. I promise. Really, only really football question. Okay. There's this crazy notion about out there, right? They saying Dak threw all these interceptions, right? But when you go on all 22, right? There's a lot of interceptions, right? Where wide receivers are touching the ball first, right? Before it goes into the other guy's hand.
Yeah.
Now, I just don't like when I watch film, I like to look at it in its totality, right? Because I think sometimes there's times where we called almost the same play sequence where it kind of put the wide receiver and Dak in a position where it was almost like it was a more advantage to the corner to take the ball than it was a wide receiver to actually catch the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, we have a new offense, we have basically a new system that's coming in. I want to know, like, in your opinion, what are some things that are going to be able to that would simplify this offense so we can minimize that? You know what I'm saying? Because like there was times I seen last year where it just felt like in the mid there was too much decision making. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I love about football is at its most simple form, football is a very simple sport. You know what I'm saying? It's a very simple sport. And it didn't get complex until we start making it more complex. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, like, just from last year to this year, just what are some things that you feel that could just simplify this thing and get us back to just football, just wide receivers getting down the field, getting open. Because talent-wise, man, I don't see a wide receiver. I mean, there's some wide receiver rooms that got some ridiculous number ones, but there ain't too many wide receiver rooms that got number 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, I think it's just more of a detailed, determined fix as far as what we're trying to get done and what we want to do. As far as we got new plays, obviously, and some of the plays, some of them we have the same, but we just fine pointed everything that we want to happen on the play. Is not so much left in the air for you to kind of decide or just wonder. It's literally like
yeah.
everything is on, like, if you're looking at just the play on the iPad, every detail from the split to like the revolutions you taking stepwise to the depth to 1 or 2 reads or whatever. So you get more depth on one side than the other side because you're the third read or whatever. So everything is fine pointed and fixed to a senses where when you're in a certain spot, you know what is asked of you, you know what the goal is of the play, you know where the play should go, you know what. So it's gonna help a lot of people play, faster, a lot of decision making to be kind of just thrown out the window where it's like, okay, I'm backside so I can get full depth instead of go shorter. And then, it is, say he does come back to you and you're already running back towards him, you're early. And now, the DBs, I mean, your separation in this league is, you get it for a second, but unless they fall or something, you're not really going to have true separation for longer than a second or two at most, So that, I think that's a big difference. And like I said, that's just going to allow everybody to play faster, allow everybody to be on the same page. And that's what we've been working on, this far as OTAs and everything.
I looked at it when I said it, I sent a post on Twitter and somebody was like, who gonna have the biggest year like from compared to last year this year? And I said you, because I really feel like it. So because I seen you do some good things in preseason and stuff last year. And I was like, man, I evaluated your film and I said, man, this dude got all the physical traits. And I feel like he can take the next step in next year. So I just want to know, like, what you hang your hat on? Like you say, if I can't do nothing, I can do this good. Like, what's your go-to route that you just like, hey man, I don't care who guard me, I'm kind of money on this one. You
Don't
know what
put
I'm
it
saying?
on, don't hey say your second round. Don't use your first
Yeah,
round.
yeah.
Yeah, don't give them all the sauce
Don't
already.
give them all the
It's gonna
sauce.
be 3rd and 8. It's gonna be a 3rd and 8, and they're gonna be like, where'd that come
I know what he doing. Yeah,
from? Because Eagles watch our show, so don't give
Yeah,
away.
they be all in the chat box too.
You
Yeah,
yeah.
got
The
a little
ops, the
wiggle you
ops
do.
in the bushes, the
Yeah,
ops in
you
the
got a little
bushes right
wiggle
now.
you do. Don't tell us about
Yeah.
the wiggle. Let them find it out on film.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, anything down the field, I think, like I said, that's where my strength of my game has been. And obviously, I'm growing in every aspect of a wide receiver, but as far as down the field, like I said, attacking the ball in the air, I think that's one thing. Jumping and catching it and catch away from my body. So some guys catch with their chest, some guys don't do as well high point or catching. Their catch radius wise. I think that's the strength of mine.
so you said you got them hands. You
Yeah.
said you got them
That
hands.
bro said.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
I got kind of a question that's just, and I don't know, you might be able to answer this, you may not be, but I'm gonna just ask the question: how much is it were the responsibility of the offensive coordinator or offensive coordinators to get wide receivers open in the NFL? Because, man, you said something right now that just opened my eyes. You said, man, you're not getting no separation in the NFL unless somebody falls down.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're gonna get it. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna get it. But as far as like,
Consistently.
I think everybody has this. Yeah, I think everybody has this false mindset that you're supposed to be open 24/7. Obviously, you want to be, but like as far as like you just said, I mean, some plays are built for people to be open, where you run a post this way and have an over route coming, it clears everything out. You're open. You're not really getting a separation yourself. But as far as man to man, I mean, you run a slant. You say you take a diamond release and break. I mean, you got maybe 1 second of separation, the ball on time, boom, catch it. You can break the tackle and go. But as far as just being completely open, like people, have in their head, I mean, that rarely happens in the NFL. Everybody's good. Everybody's an athlete. Everybody's fast. Everybody's smart. I mean, you're playing with the best of the best. So as far as getting open, its concepts is made for. Obviously, you scout who you're playing. So if they're playing cover two, you attack the middle of the field or whatever. The outsides are going to be clouded. But it's stuff like that where all right, they play man, you can do this, and you can set. I mean, it's even rub plays you can set where somebody come and run and play chicken with somebody. And
I didn't see one of them all year last year. We didn't do no type of road route.
we did it towards the middle of the field, but as far as outside, we didn't have too many of them. But that's kind of just say it just depends on what they're playing, and as far as what you can do to get yourself open. Like I said, obviously you win at the line, you can win at the top, but I mean everybody's good. So
that's one good thing about Dak. Like we know that Dak is like he pretty much an equal opportunities. Like he gon' if you open, Dak gonna throw the ball. I remember when it was Dez, I think it was like his rookie year. He was like, "Hey man, you get open, I'm gonna throw you the ball." Dak said that as a rookie, like that kind of moved me. I'm like, "Oh, Dak ain't playing." So if you get open when you playing with Dak Prescott, he is gonna give you the ball. And like I said, with me having experience being a receiver from back in the days, like I know that gives you a little extra edge. Like you gonna want to run the route perfectly because like, hey, he might give me the ball. So I know that kind of like gets everybody up and going when it comes to playing with equal opportunities like that. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. Especially knowing that, I mean, obviously, the Cowboys, we do a great job playing together as a team. So, even if we don't get the ball, we're getting CD open, or, we were getting Dalton, now Jake or whoever open. Just depends on the play. And I mean, like I said, if it's not your time for the play, it's not your time. It's going to come to you. It's not, everything is not all about yourself, as an individual. So I think that's a good thing that, the culture that they've created with the Cowboys that we continue to grow upon is, we're in this for a team goal. We're all trying to get to the same goal, and however we can get there, whoever can help is going to help. So, it's good to be able to have, a team that builds around that.
Right. So I got a quick question because I know you're still fairly young in the league. I still you're still trying to figure different things out. But you're around a lot of different veteran players. So like C.D. Lamb, Michael Gallup, Dak, guys that been in the league, been there, done that, made some Pro Bowls, made some All Pro selections. So what are some of the things that you picked up from them in terms of preparation, film study, things along those lines that can help you grow year to year?
I mean, from work ethic to just being able to identify nuances that people do on film. You watch it over and over again, and then once it happens in the game, it's easy for you to pick at it, or you see what you thought you saw on film. So just being able to look at stuff, whether a cornerback is narrow in his stance, or he's wide, or he's a lunger, so he wants to lunge, and if you speed release a lunger, then you're open, from the jump. So little stuff like that, or hey, he's grabby, so once you get to around 10 yards, he's expecting to break, so use your hands, whatever it may be. So just being able to be around those guys and see how they move and work and process and take notes in the meeting room. Even last year, Ty came in late and he sat right next to me, and me and him used to talk every day, and he used to just show me not necessarily his notes, but just how he kind of
go about being a pro,
yeah,
like yeah.
How he processed stuff, and notes that he would take upon, like, hey, you see how this guy is playing right here? He's a little narrow in his stance, so if you give him a little da-da or whatever, then he has to widen his feet before he run. You can't just backpedal or run with your feet too close in. That's giving you, time. So little stuff like that you can pick up on, from film, and then you go out there in the game, and it's easy. You know what to expect. You know what you're going against, and instead of just going into the games blind, those guys do a great job of picking apart, working, and watching film. And obviously the way we practice as well too. We go to practice and you do everything at practice. It should be hard. Then you get in the game, and I mean, it's easy. So
it's easy because you've been putting in that work. Yeah. But man, we know you got to get up out of here, man. It's been, we appreciate you coming to holler at us. I know you just got done with OTAs. We don't want to keep you too long. I know you got big stuff to do, but we do appreciate you giving us some time and looking out for us.
Before we let them out of here, though, real quick, training camp. We will be in the building. It's going to be very easy to see us. I'll have a big ass cowboy hat that say "Run the damn ball" on it, and I'll be screaming "Run the damn ball." HT, we gonna be at training camp. My last things I'm gonna say to you is this right here, man. In a West Coast offense, the running backs get on the edges. So theoretically, a wide receiver that knows how to run block really, really good.
Yeah.
The field. Never leave the field.
You're gonna be out there.
You're gonna be out there.
Hey, Noah had that role for a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
Noah Brown had that role for a minute.
Never leave the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, man, I 100% look forward to seeing you at training camp, and I will be screaming your name like I know you. So don't be trying to act like you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But hey, man, we appreciate you for stopping by, man. And we are eager and encouraged, man. And we eager and encouraged to see your success going towards 2023, man. Before you get up out of here, man, is there anything that you're working on that's like nonprofit or anything like that you're working on? Anything you want to shout out? Anything real quick?
Nah, not right now, man. Just working, trying to do what I can, for my football sense.
Yeah, so, man. We appreciate you, though, man. Hey, we ready for you to go tie it up next year, man. We ready to see you go crazy with that.
Indeed, yes, man. We appreciate the love, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Already.
You be blessed, sir.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
Yes, sir.
Already, man.
Boom. Hey.
Yeah, that was fire, man. That was
great
fire.
Great interview, man. Man, yes, what some points, man? High points, low points. Talk to
man. He basically gave us confirmation about the option routes and stuff. Y'all give me a second.
Go ahead, Henny.
You good? Oh, okay. No, I said they definitely gave us confirmation on a lot of things we were talking about. We were talking about the differences within the West Coast offense. He definitely said that they would be running the ball, pushing the ball down the field. I expect to see more play action. I think that was confirmation there. He said no more option routes and stop routes. That's a big thing that changes in the West Coast offense. It's all about getting guys in space, run out the catch, stretching the field. So I think, it confirmed a lot of things we already had or suspicious about in a positive way, though. You know what I'm saying? Like we, when Christmas around the corner, you ask mama for the PlayStation, she playing like she ain't get it, but then you shake the box, you feel a controller in there with something. So that's the kind of confirmation we got. I think we are in store for some good stuff going forward, man.
Man, he basically, like, everything we've been preaching, he basically confirmed it. He was saying, like, what he said, some of the key words. He said simple and faster. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he was saying, like, you won't have to diagnose all this stuff. And man, I'm telling y'all, then that was a good nugget to say. We knew Boss Cowboy Sports. Shout out to Boss in the chat going crazy, man. We appreciate you, Boss.
Indeed.
But he kind of laid that nugget on me last time we had a show when he said Jalen just started being a wide receiver in like the 11th grade. That's late, bro. Some people do start a wide receiver shit when they in Little League. So just imagine compared to him how much catch up he had to do. So I'm telling you, man, I think from what I seen from preseason, from Cowboys night, man, he went off in Cowboys night. You know what I'm saying? It probably was just like normal routes that he asked for. He probably was just like, they probably didn't do all the complex stuff. They probably just said, go get open, do a slant, do a dig, do a comeback route. And he was cooking in the Cowboys night. He
and
really
I'll
was.
tell you something also, I feel like this, I just praise God for my quarterback, bro.
Facts. That boy finna cook, man.
Yeah,
that boy
bro.
finna cook.
I just because you know what I really heard? I really heard that Dak has been having to do way more than a bunch of other quarterbacks, because we already know Dak plays with younger quarterbacks, so that means experience. Then he's less experienced. Then he's also playing with an offensive coordinator that is not necessarily making it easy on you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, bro, y'all still getting it done, low key.
They went crazy.
We gonna try to do it better, but y'all are still theoretically doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that really lets like think about this. Like, for some of y'all folks that be on Dak, bro, Dak is really that boy's really out there doing his numbers.
Did you hear how he was talking about that?
Yeah,
he was like, man, Dak him basically. I'm telling you. He said, hey, what'd he say? He was like, man, he was like, what he do on and off the field. He was like, man, everybody looks up to Dak. He was like, man, the way his work ethic, like, the boy started glowing reviews.
Bro, he said life, bro. He said life. He said
you could just pull up on him. he said you could just pull up on Dak. That, bro, y'all don't understand how big that goes for some people, man. People be going through stuff. He might just, not feel good today. Dak like, hey, just swing through. We can get some work in. So it was interesting to see that it went all, of course we know this, but it went all work when they be at the house either, though. He like, hey, man, we might just be fishing or something, but that's all team building, that's chemistry building. So that's great, man. I'm excited for him now. Like, after this conversation, everything we've been thinking about, all the pit stops and the bumpers in the road and stuff that's holding them back, that's exactly what we was thinking. And now it looks like it was only the learning curve. And that's why it sounded so crazy when Mike McCarthy was saying this. Everybody like, that's just an excuse. So we don't believe that. We don't believe this. This man just told you he didn't start playing football till the 11th grade, sir. That's very, very late. So for him to come into a complex scheme, that's crazy.
I was going to say for him to get 1,400 yards in college is crazy.
For him not to even be knowing what he's doing almost, and he's still dominating.
But also think about this, though. It also, like, that's why I try to, I love when people try to put like a pig on a wig on a pig. I love it, but sometimes you just got to call it what it is, man. That's an ugly pig. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? I know everybody wants this new age offense and this new age blah 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 and blah blah blah. But what did the boy say, man? We just want to know. Fast. He said, he said, we just want to be able to offense that's like, you're gonna be where I think you're gonna be. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna, everybody's gonna be where they're supposed to be. There's too much things going on in life to be trying to determine if this guy's coming here, this guy's coming here, this guy's coming here. No, there should only be one guy required to read a defense, and that's the dude throwing the football. Everybody else should be doing what the hell they're told.
That right there is very revealing. Because think about it, bro. The talent level is not that far off in the NFL. He coming from a smaller school to the NFL. Look, these corners are almost just as athletic or maybe even more athletic. So just imagine if he got to diagnose what read to make and run the route right. And he got to do all this. You are literally putting him at a disadvantage. You
Bruh,
put him at a disadvantage if all the corner got to do is backpedal and shadow him. Like, that's a disadvantage, sir. So now you are putting him back into the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? You putting him back into the driver's seat. You giving him a fair shot. Give him a fair shot. You heard what he said he cooked the most on against Arkansas State. Man to man.
Yep.
He cooked on man to man. So that what it sounds like.
I tried to gloss over there because he mentioned Arkansas.
If you line him up, look, if you line him up in front of a dude and say beat him, he got you. So that's all I'm saying, man. Put all that complex stuff.
And think about this. He feels confident in doing it.
Yeah.
He feels confident in his ability to do that. So
he also felt confident in his ability to high point the ball. You know what I'm saying? So
he
I like
said high point the ball twice, didn't
he? Yeah, he said it a couple times. You're like, yeah.
He said, I got hands, boy.
Let me tell you something else. I'll tell you guys something else that I like. Hey, you know what? Kellen Moore, he's not here, so and Jalen Tolbert's not on the show, so he, his views are not the same as West Coast, but they might be.
Possibly.
What he really said is, Kellen Moore don't highlight what you're good at, bro. Because I don't remember Jalen Tolbert doing none of that.
That one when he said rub route, he said, but he corrected me. He was like, we did a couple of them in the middle of the route. But that's not really advantageous to a rub route.
But think about this. Think about this. Jalen Tolbert described himself as a guy different than what we saw last year. I'm like, damn, you're good on one, man. Why the hell? Why did he do that then?
I mean, the man's 6'3". I mean, like, why didn't he get a jump ball?
And he can run.
Why didn't they even give you a jump ball? Not one, not a jump ball.
What's finna be crazy though? CD gonna be moving around. Now he talking like he versatile. He versatile too. Man, Mike McCarthy finna go crazy, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Mike McCarthy finna go crazy, sir. I want y'all to know that. We got a seasoned veteran play caller this is what I want people to do. They need to put some respect on Mike McCarthy's name. This man has won a championship calling plays. I don't care about how long ago it was. He has. He won a championship. And with Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, of course. But I think he's a head case right now. This man been going crazy ever since.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do y'all think, and we can't answer for him, so don't nobody answer this question. Don't nobody answer this question because we can't answer it. This is hypothetically. Do you think in any way he feels this system held him back? Put it in the comment box. Don't say it out loud because we can't.
And look, we had to. Of course, we don't want to just push him to dog nobody. But if you can read between the lines, you pretty much see what's going on.
Now I'm gonna ask you this question: If he feels that way, what do you think CeeDee Lamb feels?
Similar.
Bro, CeeDee Lamb had 1,400 yards. You're telling me that CeeDee Lamb is sitting at home feeling like he got held back and he had 1,400 yards? Bruh.
Hey, he described himself in a whole different way from how he was used. So,
Thank you, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Let me know that.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
This is not rocket science, sir.
Himself in a totally different way than he was used.
And we've been telling y'all this for years. We've been telling y'all this for years about Kellen Moore.
Lord, who was saying when everybody was saying Cowboys got to draft a wide receiver early? Cowboys got to draft a wide receiver early. My cousin, hey, love you, man. I'm gonna throw you your roses. Henny said, listen, man, we got to really look at Jalen Tolbert as a rookie wide receiver in this class because he didn't get used, man.
Bob said, I'm happy and mad at the same time.
Hey, it really is.
Look, it's something that you got to go through these growing pains to get a real – look, this is going to be the sacrificial year. Last year was our sacrificial year. We got it right getting Kellen up out of here. Now we can get the fruits of our labor this year. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the coaching hurdle. We was at a disadvantage. Everybody in this chat can't nobody tell me I'm lying. When we went into these big time games, we used to be worried about Kellen Moore.
Exactly.
That was our worry.
Not a player.
We used to be like, man, if Kellen can call a good game, that's what. If you real with yourself, bro, if you want to be real, because I know it's some Dak haters in here that just want to dog out Dak about it. But if you going into this game, if you take away the hate in your blood, you gonna tell the truth and be like, man, I used to be worried about Kellen Moore. I used to be worried about Kellen Moore.
Bro, every game.
Everybody got to say that.
Bro, every game. Even think about this. Landlord. Even when Dak came back, what was the number one thing we were saying? Man, I hope
he don't change the offense.
I hope he don't change the offense. We worry about Kellen Moore every game.
Bro, we ain't worried about that. We worry about him changing the play.
For the people that's acting like they worry about that, you ought to be ashamed on yourself because Dak has been a good player since he been lacing them up, bro. This was an uncharacteristic year It was.
I mean,
Can't nobody deny that.
He broke his thumb on his own hand.
Think about this. Think about this though. I touched on the interceptions with him though. I touched on
Yeah.
Because and then guess what? You can see a man's head shaking back and forth.
You don't want it. He don't. You know he can't just come up here and do the hit him up. He can't do the hit him up this track on here. So you know what I'm saying? You got to read between the lines. Yeah.
I want that boy to have like 100 yards against the Chargers.
hey, but listen to me. This is the question I asked. Like, listen, Dak had like six interceptions that wide receivers touched the ball first. What did Jalen Tolbert do? Yeah. Okay, so even the wide receivers know that there were times that Dak threw an interception that they was kind of their fault. Yeah. But then I threw him a bone and I said, hey, but the film says that sometimes we were running the same routes into the same spots.
I should have asked him how frustrating it is to run these comeback routes all year.
Listen,
you can't be sending them kind of shots.
Hey, but listen. So that's where the question came from about the offensive coordinator. Because I'm like, bro, if your offensive coordinator is running similar plays into the same defense, whose responsibility is it? The DB has a better chance of intercepting the ball than you have catching the ball.
All right, let me tell you these.
So whose responsibility is it to get open?
I've been missing a couple supers. It's gonna be real quick. Let me holler at these people. Shout out to King G with the $5 super. He says, "Great interview, my dudes. Salute to y'all, man." That's why I say y'all gotta hit that like and share, man. This gonna get us the reach that we need and the respect. Shout out to Common Sense Lab with the $2 super. He says, "Bro, this team missed Dak for 7
we ain't
years."
Say real quick. Nah, listen to me. We ain't moving forward. We ain't doing that. Kellen Moore's gun. We're gonna move forward. No, we're not doing that. You know what that is? That's a person that break up with someone and the next day they're in a new relationship. No.
Wait a minute. Jay Werder said we got rid of the offensive virus. Kellen Moore with the $2 super.
Listen,
hey, that's bars right now, but that boy was a cancerous cell that was in his offense, man.
But I'm gonna tell you guys this: if you do not talk about what Kellen Moore and this offense did, you are setting yourself to allow someone else to do it to you again. We will not glaze over. Bro, think about this, bro. Kellen Moore, theoretically, bro, he could have. I ain't saying he took a Super Bowl from us, but bro, man, that 2021 team was pretty damn good, bro.
2022 too.
I'm just saying that 22 team was pretty damn good, bro.
But look, we finna go. Now I ain't gonna say I love Coop. You know I'm a Bama guy, but man, we ain't gonna be too far off what we was in 2021 with Cooks. And if Michael Gallup come do something, get back to himself. Then if Jalen Tolbert turn up, bro, this offense finna be crazy, boy. I'm telling you, this offense finna be crazy. And you got a healthy Dak.
Yeah, I really don't foresee Dak having another season like he did. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
That was an outlier, man. That was an outlier.
Can I say something? Dak did not have a bad season in 2022. We need to stop that narrative. He did not. Listen to me. If your mortgage is $2,000 and you make $2,001, yeah, you barely made it, but your lights is on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in life, all you gonna get is enough.
Yeah.
All right. And let me throw this interesting tidbit out there real quick.
Enough last year, bro.
Let me throw this interesting tidbit out there for you. Even though Dak Prescott missed 5 games with injury, he still had 5 games with at least 3 touchdowns scored.
And nobody did that, right?
No, there was only 4 players ahead of him, and all of them played all 17 games.
Okay.
So
shout out to Boss Cowboy Sports with the $10 super. Man. I appreciate you, Boss. He said interview of the year. I shared it on Twitter. Share this with everyone. Man, I appreciate you, Boss, man. You know that Boss land coming tomorrow. It's gonna be crazy. Yes, sir.
But yeah, so like he had a very productive season, and people be forgetting. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, he threw this many interceptions. He threw 23 touchdowns in 12 games.
Man, look, our offense went from bottom to top quickly.
Average 30 points. Hey, and he's actually on a record pace. There only been a handful of quarterbacks that scored 30 touchdowns in 3 consecutive seasons, and he's amongst them.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you guys this right here. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think Kellen Moore purposely tried to sabotage the Dallas Cowboys. I think Kellen Moore just did what all our exes did, and that's what they knew what the hell they was doing.
Nah, I think he was. I think he was. I wouldn't say he sabotaged because you want to win. No, sabotage probably ain't the right word. I say, I told you, I said, Mike Lombardi said he was Madden calling plays. I said a term. I said he called plays like, look, ma, no hands. Like he want to show off. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this, ma, watch this. Instead of doing the normal old run the ball and get the 2-yard first down, he want to do a double reverse sweep, toss. You know what I'm saying? He gonna make up a new play. So I look at him like he called plays like, look, ma, no hands. Like, watch me. Look at me stunned doing something extra, trying to boost up his, what can I say, his resume to appeal to the other jobs. That's what I look at it like.
And I'm gonna tell you guys, the reason why it is important to have these conversations is because even though we might all agree that, Kellen Moore was the reason why some of this stuff happened, guess what? When it's time to pay these guys, you have to also allow those guys to use that excuse too. You know what I'm saying? Like when you want to get on this, this person didn't do okay. Well, you don't think Kellen Moore had a little something to do with Dak throwing some of them interceptions? I don't know.
Shout out to Kyle, man. Y'all know when you used to ride the bike with no hands. You say, Mom, look. Watch this, Mom. You try to do a little wheelie or something. You got to be extra. That's what Kellen Moore was. He was extra. But yeah, man, I think that was very revealing. You know what I'm saying? And that's a young player who a lot of people was talking crazy about, man. But I think he got a real shot to turn up.
That boy gonna have a great season. He gonna have a great season.
I think he do.
Yeah, he don't have. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't cut you off twice.
Go ahead. It's not talking like that.
Go ahead.
Hey, listen to me. Y'all know what I've been going through over here, so my motivation has been low. So it be stuff like this that get
you hyped.
Look, we country boys. That's West Coast. You know, that's that city slicking over there.
I ain't felt this excited to talk Cowboy content since the day before we lost. The day before we lost. Keep it real. I mean, the day that, you know what I'm saying? Because, bruh, so much of West Coast is passion. And when it don't end the way my passion level goes. So, man, I appreciate y'all, man. It's something like this. I needed this, bruh. I needed this interview today. I ain't even gonna lie. My content needed this, bruh.
Yeah, I kind of feel a little refreshed and rejuvenated. I'm ready to go crazy now.
Boy, what?
Bruh,
a lot of videos, a lot of content coming soon.
And I'm
I took some hours off.
Talk about my quarterback, man, because listen, bro, they ain't talking about Jalen Hurts like that. AJ ain't saying AJ, I'm calling Hurts.
Hey, Miss Elder Loudcard said 91 likes and 125 people in the chat. Hey man, y'all be fair, man. I took off hours of work just to make sure I bring this to y'all. So don't be like that, man. Let your boy get over 100 likes. Go to all 3 channels. If you're a GOAT, don't act like an Eagles fan. Go and make sure you hit the likes and support the content creators, man. We appreciate y'all. We out here trying to go crazy for y'all, man. So let's be fair. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all get them like and shares up for the squad. It will not charge a card. We appreciate you.
Oh, also, man, I'm still doing a raffle for a Dallas Cowboy jersey. It ends on the 31st, so y'all got between now and then to get your entries in. It's just $5, and you send it to $ Henny the More through the Cash App. You want to participate, but
don't
man,
act like an op. Don't act like an Eagles fan, man. Hit the like button.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say though, like, man, like Dak Prescott, the last 2 seasons that he was fully healthy, he threw for over 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. 2021, he threw 37 touchdowns and over 4,400 yards, and then 2020, he threw 30 touchdowns and like 4,900 damn yards. So like he's gonna have a good season, with these wide receivers. So when Dak is healthy, these last couple of years, he's thrown for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, and we won a lot of games. So I could see Jalen Tolbert coming in and having a season like Randall Cobb or having a season like Cedric Wilson.
I'm calling it right now. He got number 4 receiver locked. And Michael Gallup better be Michael Gallup again. That's all I'm saying. He better be MG again.
I mean, this is what I will say too towards that. Michael Gallup is in a precarious situation because I feel like the Cowboys are going to force Michael Gallup on us. Because they too heavily invested. Yeah,
he's your highest paid wide receiver.
Exactly. Michael Gallup is the highest paid wide receiver on the team right now. So and he's not your number 1. So that's why I be saying, like, when people be like, "Oh, the Cowboys know what they're doing with the money," I be like, "Do they really?"
I think that was a bad bet, Wes. We go back to the bets, bro.
Man,
that was a bad bet
because West Coast was screaming for 2 years.
Listen. How you feel about it? Well, it's different from you and us and them 2 different ideas. But That was a bad bet. I like MG though, so I went mad when they paid him because I like what the way he plays. It ain't necessarily like his skill set. I like the way he plays. I feel like he bring a lot to the game. So when you think about that, man, I was all for it. Like we were saying on Bossland the other day, wide receivers, they physicality, that changed the mentality of your team. Like if you got a physical gangster wide receiver, you'll turn up everybody. That's how MG play. MG is reckless when he is like in his normal self. MG don't care about going across the middle. He going crazy. He's gonna take about 3-4 people to get him down. I love that out of MG, but that wasn't the MG we got last year. So that was the
And I'm
problem.
gonna tell you this right here. The real problem is all that ain't worth $11 million.
Nah, I like MG now.
I like him too. I like him too, but
okay, was he not a high end number 2? He was a high end too, bro.
Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Michael Gallup has never been a number 2 in the NFL.
So you look at him like a straight 3.
Michael Gallup was a number 2. He is.
You look at him as a 3.
He 3, yes, but a number 3 should never make $11 million. A number 3 should be a Jalen Tolbert, a guy that's coming into the league that you got 4 years on, because you got to think your number 3, you want him to go to what? Number 2, number 1.
Wait a minute. Didn't he have time when Coop became number 1? Michael Gallup was a decent 2, bro. If I ain't mistaken, Michael Gallup was a decent 2 before we got CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup was a decent 2, bro.
Go look at when we drafted Go look at Michael Gallup's his rookie season, his sophomore season. Michael Gallup ain't never been no number 2. Michael Gallup's been the second receiver on the team, yes, but he ain't never been no solid number 2. Michael Gallup, like he's been a number 3. Even in his best season, he was a number 3.
So if he a 3, he must be a high end 3. Because I don't see him being 3.
I don't really think he's a high end 3. I think it was a season that Dak was required.
I ain't subscribing to that, Wiz. No.
Well, you got to, because that's factual.
I ain't subscribing to that.
No. This is factual.
Hey, shout out to Michael Lockhart for the donation, man. I appreciate it.
Michael Gallup's best season was in the season where the Dak did not throw the ball. They did not run the ball. Bro, Dak was throwing the ball 40 times. So it made sense that everybody benefited from it. Like, it just makes sense. Like,
shout out to Boss Cowboy with the $5 soup. He said, I'm calling out 3 of you motherfuckers after the show. Overtime today. Hey, straight up. Shout out to Michael Lockhart with the sticker.
Y'all feel me on that though? Like, yeah. I don't think that.
I mean, maybe I got a little bias. I like MG, bro. I'm not. Maybe I gotta reevaluate it, but that's a hard pill to swallow for me to say he went at least a number 2, bro. Like, I ain't saying he was a top tier 2. I'm just saying I felt like he was at least a 2, bro. I don't see him being. And then you said you gonna sit up here and be nefarious and say he was a not even a high end 3. Wes, come on, bro.
Okay, this is what really,
bro.
I
ain't taking that. You
didn't ask me if he was a high end number 3, bro. There ain't no high end number 3. If you're a number 3 receiver, you're
but
hold on. Look, there are extenuating circumstances that you could be a high end number 3. It just depends on who the hell you are.
No. Let me say
depends on who team you on, who the other 2 receivers is.
If you are a high end number 3 receiver, you know what you really are? You're a receiver You're a receiver that's either waiting for your contract to be a free agent so you can go get paid. The only way you're a high-end number 3 is if you get a young receiver that ends up being young and you have him on a rookie contract. Bro, you are not signing a dude to be your number 3
Wait a minute.
receiver.
Leave it to Wes to do some semantics. Look, we know it ain't no high-end 3 for real. Okay, let's get that out the way. But we saying if you going to make a tier of number 3 receiver, Michael Gallup wouldn't be no middle. He'll be a high end, bro. I'm ready to fight you for saying he on the 3. No, wait a minute. I'm ready to fight right now, digital dual style, for you saying that he ain't at least a 2.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, look. Wait a minute. I give you a low end 2, but saying he's not a 2, and then you got the nerve to say he's a mid-level 3. Come on, Wiz. We gotta fight. I'm about to fly to California right now. I'm finna fly down now. I'll see you at LAX very shortly.
I'm gonna use this man's words against him. You told me that Michael Gallup wasn't even the 3rd receiver on this team when you started.
When I said that?
When you started off, when you said Jalen Tolbert got that thing locked in.
No, I said he better be Michael Gallup again. Okay. That's what I said.
You even have doubt. So
he was hurt last year. Everybody should have doubt.
Oh my God!
Last year, everybody should have doubt. What you mean? I'm not delusional now. I'm not delusional. I said if Michael Gallup is Michael Gallup again, And he didn't show us Michael Gallup
If
last
Michael Gallup is Michael Gallup again at his best, he still ain't worth $11 million, bro. Get out of here.
Well, that's
I don't
two
care
different
about the
conversations.
man money now. I don't care about his money.
And
I'm talking about what production he gonna offer to the team. That's what I'm talking about.
Somebody said, listen to me. Someone said, how does this guy not like Michael Gallup, but he dies for Dalton Schultz? Because Dalton Schultz led your team in first downs 2.5 years in a row.
And he was your number, your number one tight end.
The original people said,
so that's why it makes sense.
The original people said, I got y'all. I'm already out here in Cali. You gonna be the mediator. Cause we gotta box it out with. Cause don't do my boy like that, man.
My question is this: you're saying he's a top tier 3 receiver. Okay, better question.
I ain't really say that. I said a lower tier 2 for real. But you gonna box me in and make me say 3. Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Who else is in that box with him?
Well, top end.
Of top end, let's talk about who else is in this box because
it ain't no box.
A number 3 receiver? Are you kidding me?
But look, listen, I just gave you that. You ain't gotta beat the dead horse. Listen, I gave you the fact that if we talking about number 3 receivers, it probably shouldn't be a tier. But I did say it depends on who on your team though. He got some good receivers on his team though. Right?
He got some good receivers on his team?
Yeah, CD, Cooks. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you naturally gonna fall to a 3 receiver.
No, you naturally not, because that's not they naturally do. They didn't naturally do that with CD. CD was not our number one.
CD was a 3. That's why he was in the slot. He just balled. He just balled though.
No. CD was. They didn't naturally do that. And I'm gonna be honest with you. They paid Michael Gallup. Listen, if Michael Gallup is freaking Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks ain't on this team. The hell out of here with that.
No, don't put me back on last year. Don't put me back on last year. I just told you after last year, everybody got down. I just told you that. Don't put me on that. Don't put that evil on me. I just said that. I just gave you that one.
Let's think about that though.
Don't do that.
If he's doing because bro, you basically double dipped. Like we're in a position with Michael Gallup right now where, listen, I love Michael, but he's kind of screwed.
How you love man? You just shot him about 4 times. You love him like buddy love G Money.
No. Because y'all gotta remember this. When all y'all, not y'all, and landlord, you gotta, because this was a private conversation, but you gotta solidify for me. You solidified it for me. When we talked about Michael Gallup last year, I said this. I said I was telling I do not believe he's ready right now. And then we also had a conversation about routes that we said he should not be running this year. Did we not?
Yeah.
Because they would not highlight, bro. If you have a torn ACL, bro, I don't even want to get up and come back. I don't even want to get up and walk back, let alone run a route, stop on that same ACL and turn around. Yeah. So I was actually one of the guys that was saying, bro, the Cowboys did not. A guy who's injured should have just been running straight down the field. That's all he should have been doing.
But look, no, that's all that Kellen Moore had him doing.
No, he didn't, bro. Maybe he did.
I'm talking about turnarounds and comebacks. He did.
Hell yeah.
Kellen Moore had him doing exactly what he shouldn't have been doing.
King G said with friends like West Coast, who need it? He said,
look, West Coast a friend like Rico and Mitch.
Hey, them 3 bricks right here.
Say man, I ain't trying to toot no horns, but when we went to Kansas City, when that bill came through West Coast, slapped that card down. So I'm one of them good friends. Yeah,
he did that.
Hey, I paid my way too now, so you know what I'm saying. We getting the feds.
Hold on. He handled his big cousin responsibilities.
Thank you. Give me mine. Well,
I ain't gonna say I'm gonna leave mine to let what happened in Kansas City stays in Kansas City. Then I'm gonna just leave mine alone.
You was on one.
I'm gonna leave mine alone then. But man, I'm gonna have to go and get up out of here, man. This was a great show. I'm glad we had a great interview, huh?
We just having fun though.
Yeah, I gotta go. I told y'all I took a couple of hours off just to make sure I brought this content to y'all. Y'all know I'm a working man. I'm a busy man.
So. See, man, y'all get me all excited, and y'all, man, I gotta go back to work.
I gotta go. Hey, the day job, my duty calls, they say.
We gonna go back live later on tonight or what, bro? What's up, man?
I'm going live. I don't care. I'm going live.
What time you up?
Talking about you going live while I'm at work, sir? So I don't want to hear you
on the late night creep, bro. I get off. 10. It'll be 10.
Well, we can do it. We can do it at 12 when I get off.
or we can do it tomorrow. Or hey, no matter what, we got to do a recap of the show. I know you're gonna do one with Law. Well, I mean, not Law. I know you're gonna do it with Boss. Shout out to Boss Cowboy been in the chat, bro. I know you're gonna do that with him tomorrow. HTM gonna do a show later on tonight. Law. Why do I keep saying Law?
You fucking him up. He finna go live.
Salute to him. HTM Sports is going to be doing a show later on. Landlord's going to be doing a show later on. So make sure you guys catch it. You guys know I'm going to be doing my lives. And make sure you guys get ready for the content that we're about to bring because of this content we just gave you guys. Hey, this only happened because of you guys. I'm going to thank you guys. You guys already know what it is. Never look down because stars up. Peace.